This one trading card could catapult you to the successes of the Pokemon trading card game. The card's name, Champions Festival. How to get it? Well, you got to qualify for the Pokemon World Championships. This is becoming one of the best cards in the upcoming sets and currently, right now, in the Pokemon trading card game in Japan and America. I'll tell you guys why this card is rising in price monumentally and why it could be a problem for competitive Pokemon trading card game coming up in just a little bit. My name is Rahul Reddy, and if you guys enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton, and that's all you guys need to know. I primarily make competitive Pokemon TCG content, and today we're branching out a little bit to talk about why this card is going to become a problem. Every single year, the Pokemon trading card game, video game, Unite, Pokemon Go, all have a Pokemon World Championships that'll take us to different locations around the world where trainers will compete for hundreds of thousands of dollars, prestige, pride, and trophies. This year, we'll be competing in Yokohama, Japan, the birthplace of Pokemon. Very prestigious honor, of course. So, when you qualify for the Pokemon World Championships, every competitor receives a kit. Now, what does the kit have, or what does it symbolize? A competitor's kit is kind of your claim to fame of, I qualified this year, no matter what happens, I get to walk away with this swag knowing that I competed. You can see here, there's a backpack, a playmat that says competitor. I'm going to be framing all of mine up. You guys will see that at some point in time. A competitor t-shirt for each year that's individual and specific. By the way, the theme changes year for year, and this is exclusive to competitors. So no one besides the Pokemon competitors are going to get this, and there's only one kit per competitor. There's a plushie every single year. That's usually found in the stores as well, so that's not something that's like crazy. There's a switch case, there's a screen cleaner, competitor pin, a deck box, sleeves, luggage tag, a hat, yada yada yada. But the most important thing in here that we're talking about today is this little pack right here, this Champions Festival pack. Each year, competitors will receive an exclusive World Championships promo in various languages that is exclusive to that one year. Since the year 2013, competitors have been receiving a promo called the Champions Festival, and in years past it has changed and been different ones as well, but from 2013 to now, it has only been Champions Festival. Here was the 2022 pack, which contained 11 different languages. Now, this is to encompass some of the languages that we have been playing with, some of the competitors that show up to the tournament, and respect for all regions that compete. Looking at all of these Champions Festivals, let's talk about who can use them and why they can be used. So each player in the Pokemon TCG is only allowed to use cards in their native region language, which means as a US player, I am only allowed to use English cards. Someone who lives in Canada is allowed to use French because it's one of their national languages. Any European player can use whatever European language are available. That includes French, German, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, you name it. So they have their pick of the litter. Over in Latin America, depending on the Latin American countries, they can use Spanish, Portuguese, and English. And with Japan is their own region, and they're relegated to using Japanese cards specifically. I believe every single language can use English, but I'm not entirely sure on that, so please don't quote me. But Champions Festivals, as you can see, come in all these different languages. So what happens when this card, that is an exclusive World Championships promo, becomes competitive, becomes competitively viable? Well, if you're in NA, you got an English Champions Festival. That's not bad. If you're over in Europe, you've got all these other different languages that you can use that, fit the bill. If you're in Japan, well, there's only one language you can use here, which is Japanese. And in Japan, the competitive trading card game is leaps and bounds above the demand that is here in the West. There is 3,000 plus person regionals that are selling out instantly in a lottery system, and every weeknight you can go into a store and find 100 to 200 people that just show up to play for fun. That is not something that happens here in the US, maybe because of our public transportation, maybe because of just the stakes at bay, but in Japan, this is a global phenomenon over there. It is there for fun thing. It's their thing. So this card has been rising to prices that are above $2,000, and in the English versions, it's rising to almost $300 to $400. Now, if you need one or even two copies in a deck, that's an $800 investment in this one card that may or may not even win you games. So why is it so important? Well, it's all because this little balloon right here. Drifloon has an attack called Balloon Blast. 30x the number of damage counters on this Pokemon. Does not seem crazy. This gets facilitated by Gardevoir EX and its Psychic Embrace ability. You can attach up to as many psychic energy from your discard as you'd like to one of your Pokemon per turn, and they take 2 damage counters. So with Drifloon 70 HP, we attach 3, putting us at 6 damage counters, doing 180 damage on a 1-prizer. That's not crazy at all. But it gets wild when you include this new tool called Charm of Courage that adds 50 HP to Drifloon. Now you get 120 HP on this small little balloon. That means we can attach 5 energies, putting us at 10 damage counters, which means we can do 300 damage. Champions Festival reads, once during each player's turn, if that player has 6 Pokemon in play, they may heal 10 damage from each of their Pokemon. So now Drifloon can heal 10 more damage before attaching the energies, and you can put yourself to 11 damage counters, reaching the utmost limit of what this little balloon can do with a Charm of Courage, and do 330 damage. Why is this relevant? Well, most Pokemon in the trading card game right now do not have more than 330 damage. I think the peak is 340, but even then, nothing of those HP is relevant in the metagame. Gardevoir EX and Mew VMAX are the ceiling of the metagame right now at 310 HP, and Drifloon can reach that number without any problems, and you can take out a big attacker, a big threat, just in one fell swoop, and your opponent has to answer this balloon that, well, is only going to give up 1 prize card in the grand scheme. Jake Gearhart on Twitter spoke about why this is a must-have staple, just making sure that it fulfills the purpose of healing and one-shotting other Gardevoir EXs on the other side. It's been popping up in a lot of Japanese lists. You can see here in all these lists, 1 copies, 2 copies. They're just coming in, and they're doing a big number. Now, why is this card so difficult to obtain in Japanese, and why is the price raising to almost $2,000? Well, every year when you do well at the World Championships, there are stamped promos as well. You can get a top 32 promo card, a top 16 promo card, a top 8 promo card, finals, etc., whatever. And that's based on placement. So every single year, players who place in that position will get promo cards responding to their placement. That includes all of it, all games. Unite, Go, TCG, VGC. So there are a lot of top 32, top 16 festivals in circulation for each given year. However, these festivals are only awarded in English. You're not getting the full pack like you would here for competing. You will just get 1 copy, and it will be in English. Staff are also awarded a promo for working the event. It's going to have a staff stamp on it, and that staff promo is also awarded in English. That's why even though there are a lot of English ones in circulation, it is still hovering at like $300 to $400. In Japan, the demand is higher, it's harder to get this card, and well, that's why it's peaking, because there's not that many in circulation right now. I feel like players are going to start cracking their packs, getting rid of their promos, and well, we're going to see what the outcome of this is going to be. This could be a legitimate problem moving forward if Gardevoir decks need to have this Champions Festival to combat the mirror. Now, not saying everyone needs it. You can play cards like Picnic Basket, Freshwater Set, Radiant Serena to kind of heal. But these are all bad options. These are all options that don't do what Champions Festival is meant to do. So you are playing at a disadvantage at the highest level if this happens, and heading into the World Championships or even the North American International Championships, you might see players of the top caliber performing well with this card. And Pokemon has become an exceedingly cheap game over the years, with top tier 1 decks ranging from $40 to $70 right now, which is making it incredibly affordable to jump into the game and buy whatever deck you want. And this might shatter that. For the first time in history, we might see a World Championships promo make its way into these decks that is worth $400-ish. Tropical Beach was there for a while at like $100 to $200, but that card was a 4 of and didn't really break too many banks. It still did, but a lot of players played it. But for the first time, this might be a real detriment to, if you don't have this card, your deck might just be garbage. So that being said, do you guys think it's a problem? Do you guys think Champions Festival should be put on the limited or banned list to make that disadvantage taken away from a lot of players? What are your honest thoughts on this? I personally would not mind if Champions Festival was put on this list to make it more accessible for players, or some sort of reprint was given of the same functionality, not like a Champions Festival, but just like, something where it's just like healing Veil or something like that. Same stadium, same effect, just different name. I wouldn't mind personally. Tropical Beach was a problem when it was a prominent card. Champions Festival will almost certainly be a problem when it's a prominent card. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about this Champions Festival problem and why I think it could be a real issue moving forward. So thank you.